That is not an injury. That's Messi without air. You think the best players win anywhere, but this opponent had no superstars, just a mountain, and it beat Messi Argentina 6 to 1. Welcome to La Paz, 3,600 meters above the sea, the most unfair advantage in world football, and nobody here is breaking a single rule. So, three questions. What does this air actually do to a superstar's body? Why did FIFA try to ban an entire nation stadium? And can all the money in football buy its way out of a mountain? Most football is played near sea level. The air is thick, your lungs are happy, and nobody thinks about breathing at all. Now go up, 3,600 meters up, higher than some planes bother flying. Up here, the oxygen percentage is the same, but the air is so thin that every breath simply delivers less. Your body demands its usual amount, but the mountain politely says no. For Bolivians, this is just home. Generations of living up here, thin dead bodies for thin air, more red blood cells, bigger engines. Now invite the giants Brazil, Argentina, Messi. They land, they warm up, they feel great. They decide the stories were exaggerated. Then the match kicks off, and reality sends an invoice. The first sprint feels normal, the second feels heavy. By the third, Messi is breathing like he ran up the mountain, which technically he did. This is what breaks elite players. Their whole career is built on controlling their bodies. Up here, the body stopped taking requests. And the cruelest detail, the ball is affected too. Thin air means less resistance, so every pass flies faster and further than anyone from sea level expects. So the exhausted visitors are also overheating everything, watching their crosses sail into row 12. Bolivia, effectively, lines up with 11 players and a mountain. Now, the receipts. Now back to that scoreline. April 2009, World Cup qualifier. Bolivia versus an Argentina side containing the best footballer of his generation. Final score, Bolivia 6, Argentina 1. 6 against a nation that has won the World Cup. Messi was on that pitch, and the altitude did not check his trophy cabinet because the mountain does not read reputations. Brazil has arrived here as favorites and left looking like tourists who took the stairs. And Messi himself has said, altitude football is among the hardest things I've ever done. If you want more stories of geography beating superstars, consider subscribing. There's a whole series of these. Then came the war. Results like that started a war, not in the pitch, in the meeting rooms. The big nations argued altitude was dangerous and unfair, and in 2007, FIFA actually did it. International football above 2,500 meters was banned, which, if you live in a high plateau, translates roughly to please stop existing geographically. So Bolivia was furious, and their argument was hard to answer. We didn't build the mountain, we just learned to play on it. And think about what football already allows. Desert heat allowed, freezing rain allowed, brutal humidity allowed. But thin air, that's the line? Every home advantage in football is geography wearing its disguise. Altitude is the most honest one. It doesn't even pretend. The English drizzle? That's just cheating with better public relation. The protest worked. Within a year, the ban collapsed, and La Paz kept its fortress. The mountain stayed in the starting 11. So can you beat a mountain? If you can't ban the mountain, you science it. Visiting teams now have three strategies, each stranger than the last. Option 1. Don't give the altitude time to hurt you. Fly in on match day. Play immediately. Fly out. Sprint through before your body notices where it is. Option 2, the opposite. Arrive 2 weeks early and let your blood slowly adapt. Basically, become temporarily Bolivian. Option 3, the rich club special. Altitude tents. Players sleep at home inside low oxygen chambers, tricking their bodies into adapting in advance. This is exactly the kind of enemy Cristiano Ronaldo was built to fight: recovery, data, controlling every variable. He would attack a mountain with a spreadsheet. And yet, nobody has truly solved it, because you cannot out prepare a mountain in 90 minutes. The pitch is the same size, the rules are identical, but one team is breathing and the other is negotiating with the sky. So next time a superstar collapses in La Paz, don't call it bad form. That is geography sending its regards. This was Rod's pitch. The beautiful game explained one drawing and one suspicious arrow at a time. So tell me I'm wrong. Banning La Paz, it is cowardice or common sense? Pick a side below. Then comment the most unfair stadium you've ever seen. I'm still collecting them.